Hello friends, I am back. We got a little bit of a wobble. I am back with my December Daily 2025, day 23. Almost done. I am so ready to have this project done. Not because I don't like it, but the weather's getting nice. I've got other spring projects that I want to start, so I'm ready to have this one done on my shelf. So I'm working with this cute flip up that we did in product play. I love it so much. So I just used this star background paper. I have the download, so I printed two of them so I'd have enough to do the full background. I didn't want to do two different patterns, just personal preference. I did 2 rows of the palm fringe, which does add some bulk, but it's all right. I'm almost to the end, so we're good. The back side of day 22. So here's day 22, my snow globes. I have a photo that I'm going to put on there that I printed of my mantle and some paper garland that I made with wrapping paper. So I'm just going to put that on there. I don't know if I'm going to put anything on here. I may just leave it the way it is. So that's what that is. And then on here, I've got some of these that I printed and cut out, these little label shapes that I printed and then cut out with the die. And the idea here is I don't know that I'm going to have actually any actual photos. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to. The idea is to I just kind of collected things over the month, and I just want to put those there. Like I cut out this cute little Snoopy from wrapping paper. He's so cute. I'm trying to decide if I want to use that or cut it smaller somehow, because he doesn't really show up on there. Haven't figured that out yet. I've got this little cute little birdie that came from this wrapping paper. And full disclosure, this is from Christmas, and so is the Snoopy. And I don't care. Nobody's going to look through my book and say, hey, that's from the 23rd, and you didn't get that wrapping paper until Christmas. I don't care. It's all good. So I've got that little birdie that I want to cut out. I saved one of these cute little doors from one of the advent calendars. And then I also have these 2 that I saved from the dogs' advent calendars. I believe in Santa Claus and professional gift sniffer. I've got an anthropology tag. I've got this little tag. I've got this that I saved. A couple ornament tags. This was from the mystery ornaments from Dutch Bros that I actually got in November, but it's fine. I had a Dutch Bros tree, so, I've got this little tags for hope tag because I got the dog's new tags this year. I've got this Vicky Booten's mistletoe and memories. I did her class, so I've got that little tag. And look at this cute little fabric tag that I got from some fabric that I bought. Love that. Now, I may not use all of these things on here. I may save some of them to use maybe on Christmas Day, or I may not use all of them at all. Oh, I have a couple more. I've got this fun paper. This is actually wrapping or toilet paper wrapping. I get I get our toilet paper from Who Gives a Crap, and this was a Christmas one they did in 2024, and you could actually stack 3 different rolls of toilet paper to make a person. They were fun. I love them. So I've been ordering from them since just after the pandemic. And I like it. So I also have my Hallmark catalog, and I thought about cutting out this little Hallmark keepsakes right there. I think that'll fit inside one of these. Actually, it'll fit in that little one really nice. And then I kept this box. I always get these shortbread cookies at Christmas time. I love them. So I thought I'd cut out a piece of that as well. So just bits and pieces that I've collected throughout the month. And then I've also got all of my little labels that I printed out and cut out earlier in the month. I've got the transparency ones, and then I also printed and cut out on vellum. So I'm thinking I'm going to layer them, probably. I'm thinking of stitching them if I use them. And I know when Allie did this page, she did 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I may not. I'm just going to cut everything out and see where it leads me. So that's kind of where I'm heading. So let's get started on day 23. All right, so I'm starting off with lots and lots of die cutting here. Grab my machine and those label dies, and I'm going to run all those bits and pieces that I've collected through my die cutting machine. I'm using the smallest die and the medium sized one. So for the smallest one, the ones that I cut out with that one, I'm going to actually layer it on another, the larger label piece when I put that in there. So I'm just going to run everything through my die cutting machine. There's a few pieces that I didn't cut up right away, thinking I wouldn't need them. And then I end up actually going back and cutting the rest of them out because I still needed a few extra ones. So I'm just going to run these all through, and then I can start setting them up on my page. All right, so here is the fun part where I get to put all of these little bits and pieces on my page. That one piece that's from the Dutch Bros packaging, it didn't want to stick, or my adhesive didn't want to stick to the back of that, so I actually had to use score tape for that one. So at this point, I'm just kind of, playing around and seeing which pieces I want on there. So on each row, there's going to be 5 photos. I'll just call them photos. And I know at least one of them I want to be the pre-made ones that I had already created earlier in the month. And then the rest of them are probably going to be the things that I cut out. So right now it's just a matter of playing and seeing what looks good together. And I kind of move things around a little bit, but yeah, right now is just all about playing and bringing this page together. Okay, so now that I got all of my pieces where I think I like them, I'm going to go ahead and adhere everything down. At this point, I wasn't sure how I was going to stitch everything on, or if I was going to, stitch them all on. I do end up stitching the entire row, each one. And you'll see right there, like with that little Snoopy paper, I ended up putting one of the transparency frames on top of it to kind of help, give it a frame around it, because it's white and it's on top of that white and black print paper, so it's not really going to show up too well. So when I was putting these down, I just wanted to make sure that I had them far enough over so that they weren't showing on the right hand side, because I have a little notch that's cut out there, so I didn't want what's underneath to be showing. But for some of the transparencies and vellum, I end up just putting a little bit adhesive at the top and bottom, kind of where the frame is, just so that it kind of holds it there until I take it to my sewing machine. So once I get everything on there, I'm going to take that to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch all the way across that entire row. Okay, this is turning out so stinking cute. I love it so much. So I ran just a line of stitching across here on my sewing machine just to kind of help ground it and keep everything on there. It looks so cute. One thing I realized that I forgot to do before I started stitching, I had wanted to put numbers on here because I wanted to stitch the numbers. So now I need to decide, am I just going to put the numbers on here and not stitch it? Or do I just run another, stitch over just where the number is, which I'm thinking is probably what I'm going to do. Let's get all of these cut off. Oh, so cute. It's just kind of a little mishmash of ephemera and just little things that collected throughout the month. I love it. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. This just gives me joy. So much joy. Okay. Let's put all of these away. Have all of those left over to use at some other point in time, maybe. So numbers. Let's see. I need to figure out, first off, if I even want to use numbers, and second, do I want to use white? Do I want to use gold? Because I was thinking white would show up better. Well, yeah. 1, 2 would go there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add these on there. And then I think I'm just going to run it through my sewing machine just in that spot right there. I do not trust that these will stay on this transparency. Oh, the 4 doesn't really show up, but I'm not worried about that. Wasn't even thinking about that. Okay, so I'm going to run that through my sewing machine, and then I'm going to attach the other one, and then I need to figure out where to put the number for the story, number 23. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is attach my photo to the back of day 22. Kind of wish I would have waited because you'll see here in a minute, I end up stitching my number, and I could have stitched that right on the photo. Not a big deal. But sometimes I kind of get ahead of myself when I'm doing these pages, or any scrapbook pages for that matter. So just attach the photo and then trimmed off the excess, making sure that I did not accidentally poke a hole or punch a hole in my little snow globe flip-ups. And then I started going through my larger numbers because I thought this might be an opportunity to use a larger number on that photo. I really liked that vellum number, but I couldn't find the number 2. I also really liked those felt numbers, but again, I had one number, but not the other one. That's usually the case when I start getting into the double-digit numbers. It gets harder to find numbers. So I found this white chipboard 23. I will end up using that, but then I'm still pulling out other ones. I've got the Simple Stories one, but that one was too light for that page. I also pulled out a different one. I think these red tags, these are Simple Stories as well. I ended up punching out the white part of the number. I actually think that might have worked if I would have left that in there, but I still feel like the red just didn't pop against that photo. So in the end, I'm going to end up sticking with that 23. I pulled out these large red felt numbers, which I loved. My only thing that I didn't like was when I'm using a big number like that and I don't have anything on the back, I like to have the number on the right. That way, when you flip the layout open, you're not immediately looking at the back of it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to table that. I do have a 4 as well, so I might use that for day 24. I don't know. We'll see. So now I'm just kind of going through some of my bigger embellishments to see if I can find something to go behind that 23. I pulled out a couple of those trees that I had painted from, I think that was from the 2024, I believe. Yeah, 2024. That wasn't from last year, was it? 2025? I don't remember now. I think that was the 2024 um, December daily supplies. I kind of like that, so I'm going to kind of table that idea for maybe another page. But I ended up pulling out this transparency heart with the gold trim. That's where I was thinking that it would have looked nice to emboss on that 23, but I'm kind of ready for this project to be done. I love it so much, but I've got so many other ideas of other projects that I want to work on. So I'm just kind of in the get it done mode at this point because I only have a couple days left. So I'm just going to attach that chipboard 23 to my plastic heart, just using regular adhesive, because then I'm going to run it through my sewing machine. Like I said, embossing would have looked nice on this, but I do have gold thread in my sewing machine, so that kind of added a little pop of gold. I know it's hard to see here on the video, so I'm just going to use some score tape to attach this to my photo, and I'm just putting it behind that 23 just in case that shows through. And then I'm going to attach it to my photo, kind of sitting off the page a bit, and I will trim that up. I always like how that looks, so I'm just going to trim it up. I need to repunch a few of the holes on there, and then I will be good to go. I love how this page turned out. So cute. Definitely is a good one to have made at the beginning of the season, and that way when I come back I can just put this thing together. So only have a couple more pages left, and be sure to check out all of my other videos. I've got lots of videos on my channel, lots of crafty videos, and I've got lots more coming up as well. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.